kingdom. So as we move on to the new kingdom, it's time for the kingdom of the Jags, which I want to see more memes of Urban Meyer dressed as the guy from Tiger King, whose name just escaped me. But
You know, we'll
I
just
think that'd
call
be
him the
awesome.
Tiger King.
I can't remember the name of I can't remember the name of the Tiger King guy, and I watched that series. Did you watch Tiger King?
You know, that I was more of a Last Dance kind of guy. I have a hard time with cringeworthy TV shows.
It was cringeworthy.
There's even some episodes of The Office that I will not watch. Like I don't watch the dinner party episode because it is so cringeworthy.
Oh man, most of The Office is cringeworthy. Anyways, we
But
digress. So,
you know what
Urban
has been
Meyer,
cringeworthy? Rutledge.
What's
Great segue. Many college coaches in their attempt to get into the NFL, right? You know, when you think about Urban Meyer to the Jags, you know, kind of my rapid reactions is I kind of think, okay, how is this going to be different than hearing, oh, well, you know, Lou Holtz is going to crush it. Steve Spurrier is going to go be awesome. Pete Carroll, before he got Russell Wilson, wasn't exactly lighting the world on fire. Bobby Petrino, you know, really Jimmy Johnson was the only guy to really make it work in the NFL, or really the main guy to make it work in the NFL. And that's kind of my first rapid reaction is that, you know, a lot of hype, but a lot of question marks, right? A lot left to be seen as to how Urban Meyer can do with the Jags. And secondly, my other rapid reaction is, you know, the offense that made Urban Meyer famous in college, right? A lot of teams adapt those schemes. And that offense is very pervasive in the NFL, in flavors throughout the league. So the one thing that made Urban Meyer special, I don't necessarily see that being a big-time differentiator. What rapid reactions do you have?
Oh, I usually wait 15 minutes in order to get my rapid reactions. But rapid reactions with Urban Meyer. He's already got Charlie Strong on his coaching staff as a defensive coach. My one that I read that I think will be interesting to see, of course, all eyes are who is his offensive coordinator. And I think the person he needs to go out there and get is former Los Angeles Chargers offensive coach Pep Hamilton. Pep Hamilton was the QB's coach. I love my quarterbacks coaches for Justin Herbert. And we here at Friend Stream Sports love Justin Herbert. We think he's going to be
If Justin Herbert could get on this show, we'd be fans of that.
Justin Herbert, if you're listening, come play Madden. We'll even let you be yourself.
We'll even buy the new Madden so you can be yourself.
Yeah, that's true. We will make that. I will put that on the air. We will make that financial commitment for Justin Herbert to play with us. We won't pay you. We'll play for Madden with you in it. But as we go, I think that he could help kind of line up with what Meyer's doing philosophically and help Meyer have a successful team because he's going to need to do something that helps him sort of get it done. You are just destroying me with the blitz right now. So
good sacks.
A lot of good sacks. Good sacks and good takes. Friend Stream Sports. So you like I've always liked Pep Hamilton all the way back to his Stanford days. I like Pep Hamilton. I like that Meyer is saying the word staff a lot. That's where his head's at. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what he does with kind of the roster pieces that he has. There's not a lot of talent there. Of course, they do have, unlike everyone else you were talking about, they do have a lot of cap space. They do have a lot of draft stock. They do have Trevor Lawrence sitting out there if they want him, who can kind of bring in his brand. I want to see, the one question mark I have for Urban Meyer is, does his brand and who he is, does that motivate vet players? You know, someone that's been in there, you know, because Meyer's going to be very demanding. Someone's going to be on a roster. Maybe they have a year left on their contract. They come join. You know, how does he handle bringing in guys that are really coming to win? You know, everyone plays to win, but how does he handle the ones that are really committed and don't get called out in a press conference like J.J. Watt? So I want to see how that brand of coaching translates over to the NFL because I think he's a good planner. I think he'll come up with a game plan. You know, their first year, they're going to look mediocre because of what they have. But outside of that, all power to him. What do you What do you think is going to be the reaction to his culture?
Yeah, I think to generate the culture that he needs, first, it's not just that he's going to have to draft well, which is going to be in his favor, because he's so close and has recruited so many of the guys that are going to be coming out and high draft picks and has coached against them. But also, you hit the nail on the head with cap space. They are $70 million under the cap. That was the stat that I read earlier today. And, that is what they should do is they should try to take the average median age of their roster, however old that is, and just try to do what they can to make that younger, right? Try to get guys as fresh out of college as possible, because Urban Meyer still could have some of that cachet factor and maybe could help him a little bit with that transition from being that college coach with that more authoritarian type style into an NFL coach who has to be a little bit more relatable with the players. Pete Carroll, Urban Meyer is no Pete Carroll in terms of personality. At least that's how he comes off on TV and some of the other stories that I've heard. So I think that is a good way to build the culture, right? I mentioned Jimmy Johnson. One of the things Jimmy Johnson was famous for in Dallas was that he made a ton of moves right out of the gates. He was famous for that. And that was really before free agency and trading was a thing. So I think maybe trying to get some Ohio State guys that he coached. Second pick for Rutledge. He was just mesmerized by the hotness of my take. I think that's what Urban Meyer is going to need to do. Bring in his guys. He can finally do that in some respects to start with that winning culture that he needs in Jacksonville.
Yeah, I can see him also taking not as big name people in order to get the buy-in and get the most out of the athletes that he has.
Mm-hmm. No, I feel you. So Rutledge, as we kind of close up the half here, I mean, what do you think? What's like one quick thing that you think could maybe lead Urban Meyer to being really successful with the Jags, and what's one quick thing that you think could lead to his demise?
Quick thing that will lead to him is how him and his front office evaluate talent. He has an unparalleled talent school, which is how he put a culture in place at Ohio State that is still there because so much of his culture is intact. That'll help him be successful. His demise is going to be if they don't get people that buy into his message. If he loses the locker room, kind of like a Jim Harbaugh at San Francisco, Doug Peterson in his first couple years at Philly, they come in, they're new, they're different, they have youth, they get guys excited. Then once they achieve or they peak or they hit failure for the first time, or even Pete Carroll when they lost that Super Bowl, then it starts to fall off. They have to rebuild. So what does that first fall off look for him? What about you?
Yeah, no, I think very quickly, number one, how does he respond after losing? If he doesn't respond well, that could definitely be an issue. I think the thing that could lead him to success, right? Urban Meyer is not necessarily known for being a humble guy. All stories have told, and I think that Urban Meyer is going to need, if he comes into it with a real humble mindset and is willing to learn as well as teach other folks, I think that he can. I think that it can. He can definitely grow with whichever quarterback he takes into the Jaguars being a contender. Because let's remember, the AFC South isn't exactly lighting the world on